Whether you're thinking of building either residential or commercial buildings, you definitely have to think of getting in a contractor. The work of a contractor is a lot, especially in terms of construction, and many would see it as a male-dominated field. Well, we're here to tell you that there are female contractors, and with us is one of them. She is Olivia Mwembe, and she is a contractor as well as a quantity surveyor. It's great to have you with us, Olivia. Tell us, what is constituted in terms of contracting when you look at construction?
Okay, a contractor is a construction professional who majorly deals with the implementation of the project. They are the ones who go out there to look for materials. They look for the laborers, they look for other specialists who are able to do certain aspects of the work. They bring the people together and they make sure that whatever has been designed by the architects and the engineers, it is implemented as per the way the design has been done. So the contractor is the one who actually turns the design into the client's dream. Mm-hmm. Yes.
How important is it to have a contractor when you are constructing?
And because this is a professional, they are trained and they know what they need to do and where to get the materials at the best rates, and even they know how to check the quality of the materials. They are better placed in knowing which quality of materials to get, as opposed to most clients who are just laymen. It will save you time, it will save you money, and you will make sure that you implement your project with the best quality that is required.
Okay, you're also a trained quantity surveyor, and
yes,
you are a contractor as well. Do the two go hand in hand, and how have you been able to tackle?
A quantity surveyor, on the other hand, is a professional also, who's majorly trained to offer cost advice and also administration of the project. And each and every contractor, their business requires that they have to fill in tender documents, they have to know how the legal requirements of the project is, and a quantity surveyor is trained in all these aspects. So I would say that being a contractor on one side and being a quantity surveyor goes hand in hand, because every contractor needs a quantity surveyor to be able to guide them in terms of costing, filling their tender documents, and just administering their project from beginning to the end efficiently.
We always wanted to do QS or being a contractor. Is this something that you picked along the way?
The courses that I had chosen, I was not called to do them. And so I was given guidance by one of my aunties who told me that there are these people who calculate the cost of buildings. So I had never heard what a quantity surveyor is, but I really used to love maths, and all I said that if anything has to do with mathematics, then I'm willing to go for it. But now that was being a quantity surveyor. When now I started practicing, I got into the industry, we were working with contractors here and there, and I was seeing the kind of challenges they had. I also discovered that there's another side of construction which is also interesting and which is actually has challenges, yes, but these are challenges with my QS background. It's very easy to overcome them and be able to give better delivery of service to our clients.
Okay, so you're seemingly a Jane of two trades.
Yeah? Oh yes, it is.
Now this seems like a male-dominated field. How have you been able to break into this industry as a lady?
The first time I joined university to do quantity surveying, we were actually just about 5 ladies in a group of 20 men. And even the lecturers kept saying that that was the highest number of ladies they had had. And we have come a long way. And when we were there, we have realized through the training, through the practice, that there's nothing really complicated about it. You find that nowadays it is not just the men who do the mortar and do the concreting. There are also a number of ladies there, just about your ability to be able to do something, your ability to be able to offer a service, and just the way a man can offer it, you can also offer it.
That's great.
Yes.
Any major challenges you've experienced in this field so far?
When somebody does not understand what the work actually entails, then first and foremost, they might judge you. Looking at you, they're like, you're just a lady, you know. But it has never come out, obviously. And as ladies, I think the only challenge comes when you go to sites which are far or sites which are complicated, and you have to walk, you have to go up buildings, you have to come down ladders and all those kind of things. But there's always a way of going around it.
Tell me about your achievements so far. What do you think about when you remember you're like, wow, I'm so excited that I decided to do quantity surveying and contracting. Tell us about that.
I think some of the achievements that I can cite is, first and foremost, I think there are ladies who have looked at me and they get motivated by the fact that, wow, how have you been able to do this? Because apart from being in the industry, practicing as a quantity surveyor, I also lecture. I lecture at the University of Nairobi. I teach quantity surveying. I teach real estate students. I'm also a mother. I am a wife. And sometimes they look at me.
How do you balance?
And how do I balance?
Yeah.
And this society, you cannot just pick one line, because as a lady, you're also expected to do other things in the society. People are looking up to you. Just balance, but also don't kill yourself, because you can't do everything. Delegate where you can. Have assistants who are assisting you. If it is quantity surveying work, have assistants who can be able to, you can be able to train them, they can be able to do what you do, so that as you stay up there offering the services that we offer, you're also bringing up other people.
I want us to get into the nitty-gritty of contracting. Tell us how the process is in terms of design. What does the contractor really do, and how important is their role?
The contractor, actually, traditionally they come in after the architects and the engineers have designed. Yeah. So when the process of construction, I will use the traditional approach because there are many other approaches in the industry. Others are called design and build, where in this case a contractor can even come in with their team of consultants and they design and deliver a project. But the traditional way, which we all know, is that the client would get an architect and an engineer who will design for them a building or whatever it is that they want. And then they give the documents, the bills of quantities, which are normally prepared by quantity surveyors. They give the bills of quantities to different contractors to fill. And then they would choose a contractor based on the best rate, maybe the lowest or not, or their experience that they have in doing the certain project that they're looking at. And so the contractor comes in after the designs have been done, the documentation has been done, and they come in now when they want to make this project become real now. The person who does the dirty work is the contractor.
And on the same note, how then do you differentiate between a rogue contractor and a good building contractor?
The current rule is that any contractor must be registered by the National Construction Authority. And if you want to know the first basic thing, you as a layperson, is ask them for their certificate of registration, because there are also levels of registration. There are contractors who can do work of high values, others who do low value jobs, especially when they're just starting. Beyond that, after they're registered, because anybody again can get registration, is also to find out what other works they have done. It always works well to get references from people they have worked with before, so that you see whether they were able to deliver.
Okay, we've seen Chinese firms and Japanese firms, especially in the construction business, coming up.
Yeah.
And they come in as a package. There's a contractor, there's a QS, you know, there's an architect, full package. What does this say to the local people, local QSs as you are, contractors? You know, are you a bit scared with how things are turning, and how do you deal with it?
I say it's both bad and good. It depends with which side of the coin you are in, because we know Chinese have come in with technology, which we've not been having here in Kenya. And I think when it comes to contracting business, I believe, especially for most government projects, they have been trying to incorporate local consultants to transfer knowledge to the local consultants and local workers on how they do their things. And so I believe on that it's positive, because they have come in with technologies, they have come in with ideas, they have come in with new ways of doing things. And if we are keen on learning, then we can learn from them. The only disadvantage is that all the big jobs most likely have been going to the Chinese. And so the revenues, instead of it being contained locally, then it goes to the Chinese. But I think it's both. It depends with which side you are on. And also, the government would probably just regulate.
All right, as a contractor, do you have to register your workers, and how do you go about that?
Yes, when you have what the people we call fundis on site, the National Construction Authority came in with a program where even the fundis, the people who are actually doing the work, the people who are supervising them, called foremen and site agents, also have to be registered with them. And normally they have trainings which they have organized in the entire country. They move from county to county, they train contractors, and they give them certificates to show that they're trained. So that even us as a contractor, when I'm looking for people to work for my project, I'm looking for people who I know have been accredited by NCA, so that it actually ensures that the quality of work is up to standard. And again, how it helps is that when you are a contractor, remember it is only not just one site that you could be having. You could be having different sites in different places. And when you have people who are accredited, skilled workers who are accredited by NCA, it helps you to have proper supervision of your work, whether you are there or not, because you're one person and you cannot be everywhere.
All right, great conversation we've had there with Olivia. As you've heard, hire professional services and walk through them in the process of building, whether it's a residential or commercial development. But also remember, these are what are termed as male-dominated fields, but not anymore. As we've seen, there are female contractors as well.